Rich Rising, y'all. Grand Rising. What is the other one? Golden Sunrise, everybody. I am about to cook some pancakes and eggs. Okay, y'all. Hold on. Trying to figure out what pots I'm going to use now. What's the matter? Why are you? I just need to know why every time I go live, here you go. You ain't bothering me until I go live. It's the only time you're gonna bother me. Well, you're not bothering me, but you get it, son. You come. You come. Anyway, so I was having a conversation with me, myself, and I was reflecting over a lot of internal dialogue that I was having about, you know, how I've been processing, learning from other people, and what roles they played in my life. And I got up and I took my shower with my baby because he got up early. So the energy was prevalent. The energy was there, you know, because I had already touched water. My body touched water. And what I ended up doing was doing a um, cold rinse over my feet and my hands first. And then I did the cold rinse over my back, you know, side of my body, and then my front side of my body. But during this time, what was ruminating was me seeing how I've actually grown, you know, and the reason that we've gone through several retrogrades, and I've noticed that, you know, nobody has re-entered my life, and I've also let go of people from my past. So I was like, okay, what came to my higher self said that basically, well, I don't want to say basically, my higher self was telling me that we are weights and we are anchors to people. And the reason why I feel like I weighed down, you know, people that was in my life was because um, I was reflecting on the lesson outside of me. I was looking at who they were. Um, I was also coming from a place of me feeling like I needed these people in my life versus as a want in my life. I did want them too, but the need for them, as in, you know, needing that spiritual family and also like that physical family that I wanted, and also that support. I was looking for that community, you know, and depending upon people, as in, you know, me not wanting to drive, things of that nature. You get what I'm trying to say? Being in a new city, not having family there. So I needed these people. You know, I needed their support. I needed them in my life. And they were placed there for them to be in my life. But what was happening was that I was so outwardly focused on the people in my life and how they were gaining from me that I was not reflecting in hindsight on how I've actually, excuse me guys, let me set my baby up right quick. Okay, guys. So, um, I was so focused on like how other people were gaining in my life outwardly that I was not in hindsight looking at the lessons that these people necessarily taught me. And I knew that I was learning from these people. Um, but in that space of me needing those people in my life and actually wanting those people in my life, I looked at those people as, um, you know, them needing support from me. I need to support them in some form of fashion. I need to be doing and existing in a way of being a supportive energy, a supportive force, you know? And I'm speaking this out loud for the first time to you guys after processing it this rising, um, and hearing it back to myself. And it's, it's very profound to me how I did not see myself in that way, and that is the reason why things kind of went the way that they went, and why I felt so burnt out, and why I felt like I was not truly gaining anything in a sense because I was burning myself out and not sitting back and realizing that these people are who they are and they were placed in my life to be exactly who they were meant to be. And my place was to sit and observe and learn, you know. Um, but I come from a background of abandonment issues, like I said, and I feel the need to people please a lot. Um, and I wouldn't call it people pleasing in the sense of, oh, like, I don't know, I can't explain it to you, but, that's the word, the terminology that they use, people please. So, uh, but me as a person, I'm nurturing anyway. I don't feel like I'm over nurturing, but when I do care about you, I want to make sure that, from A through Z, you're okay and pampered and loved and know that you're supported and know that I want you to know that you're worth it. I want you to know, that you have what it takes in life. I want all of these things for you, but let me take it back a step. Being an anchor in these people's lives was me actually showing them areas where they needed to grow, where they weren't giving of themselves, and um, things that were happening in their life. You know, I came as like a big ball of truth, being an anchor, being a weight of those existing things that they had, just glazed over and was just existing with, and wasn't going to do anything about it because when I come around, like, I have, I'm always, I've always been a person that has been innovative. I've always been a person that is looking for um, the other route. What other way in life can I do things? Like, I'm constantly looking for a way to evolve and grow. You know, um, and that's not necessarily what be going on in people's lives when I come in. So I'm like a weight to those people, just like they were a weight to me, in a sense of me feeling like, I had to be all of these things and exist in this way when all I was doing was being a blockage to myself and also them um, by not necessarily playing my role and position, you know, in their lives the way that they were in mine. So, uh, people are really weights, and when the time is done, like when you've learned the lesson that people have taught you in life, they don't come back around. So there's not a need for you to go looking for these people, and we actually have to stop viewing these people as if they are negative entities that exist outside of us, that we don't resonate with, because they weren't all of those things when you were present with them. And if they were, why weren't you being honest in that place? You know, why weren't you running away from those things? Why were you trying to stand in place for these people? Why did you want that to be your end all be all, right? So we have to really stop looking at people, you know, like they're this negative force and entity that were in our lives, when in all actuality, you know, you may not be seeing what lesson is being taught inwardly. You might not be, you may be, they may be coming in your life to teach you something, but you feel like you're coming in. First of all, you may be overplaying your position, or you may be underplaying your position. You know, you may not be a giving force in someone's life, or flow in someone's life. People are going to be forces in your life. Weight, force, energy, like, you know, wind, um, like the sea. You know, the sea can be turned into a deadly thing. Wind can be turned into a deadly thing. You know, earth can be turned into a deadly thing. Fire, you know, is a deadly thing, even though it does its job to burn off things. But um, energy not energy not transmitted in the right way is no longer a current. You know, and the people you're and the people in your life, or the people that are in um, the people that is in your life, or if you're in other people's lives, right? You're not a conduit of their energy simply because you are not flowing. You know, you're not flowing in the right direction. You're not, you're going against the energy, you're going against the current. So therefore you have this grinding, you know, type of feeling, type of energy, right? That comes into play. That's why you're constantly butting heads. That's why you're constantly looking at this person as if they are, you know, an arch enemy, and then the next minute you love them, because this is what's playing out in you, you know, because you can see clearly one day or 1 second, and then the next second it's like you can see clearly within yourself 1 second, and then the next second you are trying to counteract that energy with something outside of yourself, which is, you know, your person or whoever is physical in your environment. So you grab a hold to that person. You have to look at this person and see all of their flaws, and see what they're not doing, and what they're not experiencing in their life, and how they're not existing and coexisting, and so forth and so forth. So people are going to be dead weights, you know, and you're going to be a dead weight in other people's lives, and it's designed to be that way. People are not going to come into your life and be this, you know, flowy type of situation. It's rare. It's rare that people come in and they're that way. And the reason why is because you're on a constant wheel of progression. You're on a constant wheel of growing. You're on a constant wheel of ascension. You're on a constant wheel of transmitting and mutating energy, manipulating energy. You're on that constant, you know, wheel, that wheel of fortune. So when people do come into your life and it is that easy flow between the two of you, it may not be an intimate partner. For one, you know, um, you have those people that come into your life where it's easy and it's flowing, but simply because you're not intimate, you know. um, and when you do have those people that come into your life that's free flowing, and you're not intimate with them and they're just friends with you, it is because you've learned how to be a friend to yourself. You've learned how to have relationships in your life, or you've learned how to have a relationship with yourself that is not attached to anything. Okay, you're connected to everything and not attached to anything in this life. So when it comes down to having those friendships that, or those relationships that are free flowing, it is because you learn a particular lesson within yourself. First of all, relationships, you learn how to be a partner to yourself. That means that it could be one aspect of yourself that you've learned how to be a part. That's why you have those peaks, hills, and valleys. That's why you you have upheaval in relationships. You know, that's the reason why it feels the way that it does, because there may be one aspect of yourself that you're good with and you locked in, right? And then there's another part of yourself that your person is triggering or showing up because they're good in that area and you're not. Okay? So it's like stacking up blocks in a Jenga game, right? And pulling those blocks out. They stack up good, but when it comes down to pulling those blocks out and causing holes to show up, your partner, if they are doing it correctly, they're going to bother the fuck out of you. It's just what it is. You know, and it's your job, it is your responsibility to not reflect on your partner, not to say who the fuck they think they are, like, you know, not to get jealous, not to get upset, not to get frustrated with them. You can become frustrated and say, look, hey, you know, like, you just showed me some shit and let me go process that shit, because like I got, you know, I have an issue with how it came out in me, you know, how it's triggering me. It's not necessarily you. It seemed like it's you to me right now because, you know, I'm not ready to accept this shit. My ego got me all fucked up in the game right now. But look, let me go off and do what I do. You know, when you have partners that need a lot of time in relationships, don't take it personally. Do not take it personally, because they got a lot of shit going on, just like you do. And everybody processes things differently. So if you're not a person that processes things on your own in a way where, you know, you don't need other people to bounce these things off on and talk it out, you know, and so forth and so forth, then you're going to be fucked up when you have a partner that doesn't reflect in your way. And you're going to feel as if there is a rift when it's not. You're going to place yourself in a spot that doesn't even exist, and you're going to create this um you know, this chaos, this issue, this problem, because you're assuming, you're placing yourself in a position where you don't fucking fit. You don't fit there because it's not real. It doesn't exist. It's not happening for real. It's only happening with you. It's not occurring with your person, because what they're doing is taking up their time and their space to do what they need to do away from you. So it's, they're not existing in that assumption that you created. You're only there, and that's the reason why you feel like you are left the fuck out when you and your partner, or when your partner is needing space or taking up space to process things in their life. That's something that I absolutely learned, and I'm glad that I learned it, because I can not only just pass it forward, but I have a greater understanding of myself when it comes down to that, because I am a person that just I need solace. I need my time to myself to reflect. But in relationships, um I don't necessarily move in that way, because I never want to create um discord. I never want to create distance because of that wound that, you know, I freaking don't want to carry around. And this is the reason why, like, independence is so important to me at the moment. And, you know, truly getting myself in a position where I can support myself fully. So this was the tidbit for the day. Like, I was gonna do this, but I knew it was gonna be too long, and I don't think I have any fucking storage on my phone. But yeah, um, I wanted to do this as a shadow, as the shadow podcast, but I'm doing it here. And you guys, I hope this message finds y'all well. Love, light, and peace. Namaste.